I am back from Cincinnati, Ohio, because I just saw Billie Eilish on her Hit Me Hard and Soft tour, and I want to talk about it because that's what I do. YouTube pays me to basically yap about things. So like and subscribe to let me yap about more things. I did one of these with the Clancy tour with 21 Pilots, and basically these videos are like a story time, they're like a review, they're like a summary, there's so many things. It's basically every thought that occurred in my brain during the concert. So buckle up, baby, because I have a lot of thoughts to share. Thought daughter, not like that thought, but like a thought daughter, you know what I mean? This is the fit check for the concert. I went with a very heavy star theme because it's very Billie Eilish, and also I love wearing stars. Even normally they're one of my favorite things to wear. I love stars for some reason, so we wore stars. And while I was there, I got even more fits. Let's go over the merch, shall we? I have some thoughts about Billie Eilish merch, okay? The sizes this tour were like really strange. It seems like things were running small, but it's not like even small. It was like they ran short. They just were short for some reason. But I'll show you what I have. Let me clip this thing on me real quick. So this is a medium. This was just one of the tour shirts. You can see it has Billie, Hit Me Hard and Soft tour there. And then on the back, it has all of the dates and the name of the tour again, and then the year. For those of you unfamiliar, this is my rule for concerts. I can buy other merchandise, but I have to get at least one shirt that has the tour dates on the back. That is my rule, because this is evidence that I actually went to the concert, okay? And you guys cannot accuse me of being a poser. And years from now, I can show my children this, and I can mention it in my mom lore. Hey, I was cool. Your mom went on all of these concerts. Here's all these shirts. I really hope that my kid is into music, because if they're not, I might have to do something drastic. They're gonna inherit so many band shirts, it's insane. So let's hope my kid is cool. Anyway, next t-shirt. This is another one that ran pretty small. This is a medium, and you can see it's like, they're short. I don't know what it is. They just run short. It's not even small. They're just like cropped off weirdly. But this is a medium. We got Billie on the front. We have Billie Eilish on the back with all of the tour dates. This one still falls under my role. And then we have the jersey, which was a little bit more true to size. I didn't really see any weird sizing with this, but this is the jersey. It has the BE on the front. Then we have Hit Me Hard and Soft. I saw a lot of people with this jersey on. One small minor thing, these guys were $100. I understand that Billie Eilish uses like the vegan cotton and recycled materials, but this was $100. I bought it anyway though, because band merch is kind of like my main source of buying clothes. My parents always joke and say that I just go to concerts to get school clothes. Like, that's my back to school shopping, and they're not wrong. And I will be wearing those to class Monday, you know it. That was such a big thing in like high school and middle school, and even a little bit while I'm in college. I still kind of feel this way. It's like you were at a concert that weekend, and then you wear the t-shirt you got there like the next time you're at class, and you're like, you feel so cool, and you're just like, yeah, this is where I was this weekend, guys. Like, I'm super cool. I was a big nerd in high school and middle school and now, if you couldn't tell. But anyways, I made it to Cincinnati, and we had some problems from the get-go because the venue kind of sucks, guys. The Heritage Bank Center kind of sucks. At least from my experience and the people that I know, their experience, the venue kind of sucks. See, the general admission was ran by a lottery system, which means they gave wristbands out like the day before the show and the day of the show. I think it was like from 5 in the evening the day before, and then it was like until 10 a.m. the morning of. If you don't know how a lottery system works, it's basically like a random number is drawn. So let's say 500 is drawn. So that means technically 500 is first in line, and then every other wristband counts down from 500. I don't know how I feel about lottery systems in general. That's not the point. The point is this was ran horribly because nobody was there to really make sure anyone was following the rules. I got there was people that did not know where to line up. There were people out of order. There was a girl in front of me that didn't even have a wristband, and she got in. They did not check to see that we were in order. They didn't check to see our numbers. It was just like, figure it out yourself, which sucks. It sucked. At that point, why even do a lottery system? Just let them line up whenever, but whatever. I made it in the venue, and the stage is set up really, really cool. I was on the Happier Than Ever tour, and she had like a catwalk, something kind of similar, but this stage was set up right in the middle, which means that people could circle the entire pit, and then she had a B stage on the side. Personally, I love these setups. I understand that not everyone could do them, and you kind of have to be uber famous to have different stage setups, but I really enjoyed it because it gives more people an opportunity to get barricade, and it spaces the pit out. I noticed that it didn't feel as squished like when I went to 21 Pilots. There was less squishing going on. People were spaced out pretty good. Even the main back of the pit was so super close to the stage. And because the stage was so big, there wasn't a lot of like pit space. They were all just kind of spread out pretty good. It made me feel less claustrophobic because, listen, if I didn't love music as much as I do, I would never go to concerts because I hate people, I hate crowds, I hate being around people. I have had full-blown panic attacks because too many people have been near me. Because I love music so much, I've kind of got a grip on that and, you know, count down from 100, do my breathing techniques. I've gotten better, okay? I'm like, yes, I don't like crowds, but Billie Eilish. Because there was less people around me and less people behind me, and because like it was such a small area, I felt like I could escape easily if something went wrong, and it made me feel better. So I liked the stage setup. I liked the Happier Than Ever stage setup. So there I was in the pit waiting for our opener when somebody next to me started watching Hannah Montana. So that was really thoughtful and kind of them. I enjoyed that a lot. And then our opener arrived. The Finn Wolfhard impersonator herself, Toa Bird. Oh my god, Gigi. Gigi, behave. I think Toa Bird did her job well as an opener because you're supposed to get, you know, the crowd going, get them excited, getting them hyped for the headliner, and I think Toa Bird did just that. There was such a fun energy with them interacting with each other on stage. They were like having fun with each other, chasing each other, you know, like silly fun band member antics, which was fun. You know, it seems like they enjoyed each other's company, which some bands just straight up hate each other, so that's always good. There was a lot of crowd interaction, you know, like with the lights up and making them stomp their feet and wave their hands, which is always fun, you know, crowd interaction. As far as getting the crowd involved and interested and excited for the show, I think Toa Bird did that 10 out of 10. Toa Bird was actually more rock than I was expecting. I was expecting kind of more alternative kind of sound, but it was pretty, I mean, you could argue that this was kind of rock. Also, she did this. So there's that. I am normally counting down the minutes until the opener is gone. It's not like I have anything against openers, you know what I mean? But I'm also like, let's get this thing going, like I'm ready for the headliner. I did not feel this way with Toa Bird. I actually enjoyed my time. But then again, I'm used to 21 Pilot openers, and all of them suck. 21 Pilots deserve some award for picking the worst openers of all time. But I did not feel that way about Toa Bird. In fact, I can see myself listening to her outside of the concert. But after Toa Bird, we were left to wait on Billie Eilish, and so Hannah Montana resumed. And this is when I realized there was like a lot of clickies, okay? I saw a guy in line that was wearing a 21 Pilot shirt, and the people that were watching Hannah Montana, they had matching 21 Pilot tattoos. And of course, me and my friend there were also clickies. I see that. There's a lot of overlap. Both Billie Eilish fans and 21 Pilot fans are very depressed, anxious individuals. We like sad, depressing music. So I can see where there could be an overlap there. But I really enjoyed it. You know, I love my people. You know, I go to 21 Pilot concerts. There's an odd chance someone might recognize me. I go to any other concert. I feel like I'm an imposter. I feel like I'm out of my element. So, you know, it's nice to be reminded that my people are here. But while we were watching Hannah Montana, they put this cage on stage, which is kind of weird. It seemed like some weird metaphor for celebrities about how we force them to perform like zoo animals, but regardless, this is where we get introduced to the camera, and I hate this guy. He started out cute. You know, everyone was happy that he was like filming the crowd. People would ask him things and he would shake his head or do this. It was like fun little goofy interactions with the camera. But this guy, this stupid camera, got in my way so many times. There's so many videos that I took where his big head is in the way, and I hate him, and I hope he dies, and I hope he explodes. Oh! But eventually the concert started, and this is when it felt real to me, okay? It starts out, there's this cube in the middle, and it lights up, and it's flashing, and then kind of through the fuzz, it doesn't really show up well on video, but through the static you can see on the screen, you could see her silhouette. And this is when it began to feel real for me, because I realized something. Billie Eilish is one of my favorite artists. It seems like her and 21 Pilots are the only concerts that I can go to, have no idea what the set list is going to be like, and no matter what they throw at me, I'm going to know every single word. I've seen 21 Pilots so many times. I'm up in the double digits with how many times I've seen them. And I want to clarify, I'm still grateful for that. They're still wonderful and magical to see, and I think if you see them the first time or you see them the 20th time, they're still amazing to see live. But I've grown kind of used to seeing them, like in real life. That's not to say that I don't appreciate it, but I've kind of by now understood that they're real people. Billie Eilish, I've only seen twice. At the time, I had only seen her once, so this was my second time experiencing this. And I realized that I was kind of nervous and excited to see her. Not just to hear her, but also to hear her, because she's my favorite voice. She's definitely my favorite singer. She has the most gorgeous voice I've ever heard in my life. But I was also excited just to see her as a person. Like, Billie Eilish is still new to me, that it has the effect of like, you're real and you're here and you're in front of me. That's weird. Why are you real? 21 Pilots, we're used to it. You know, me and Josh go way back. We're homies. And I hadn't experienced that in a long time, and I go to so many concerts, but I hadn't had that feeling since when I was like in middle school of like, this person is real and in front of me and we're sharing this space together. And it was nice to feel that excitement again. But then I had to lock in, because I remembered that I'm a couple months older than Billie Eilish. I'm significantly taller than her. So I needed to remember that I'm an alpha and I needed to stop this behavior. The first thing you notice besides Billie herself are the visuals. There's a lot of lasers going on, there's a lot of flashing lights, there's a lot of things on the screens, and this is where I kind of have a regret, because I feel like I was too close. There were a lot of things that I couldn't see just because I was too close to the stage. I feel like people further back than me kind of got a better overall view of the show, but of course that's just a sacrifice you make, right? When you're in the pit, you're closer to the person, but you kind of don't see the show in its entirety. So I feel like there's a lot of things that I probably missed, but it's whatever. Another thing that you'll notice is that Billie Eilish just wears whatever. She literally just puts on whatever, and I feel like she's the only person in the entire world that can do that and still be cool. She just be wearing whatever, and good for her. I was a really big fan of the set list. It's honestly up there with the Clancy tour as far as my favorite set list that I've seen live. There were some confusing curveballs. I did not expect Chihiro to be the first song on the set list. I mean, not that I have anything against that song, it just felt like a weird opener. I don't know. Also, Lunch was second, which I feel like Lunch is a big enough song because it was a single. I feel like it's a big enough song that you could have done later. I feel like that's kind of the ones people were expecting and waiting on, so the fact that they did it second, interesting. Also, Bad Guy was pretty early on. I wouldn't say right in the middle, and I wouldn't say right at the beginning. It's like right before the middle. It was still pretty early to bring out a banger. But as far as the actual songs I heard, I love the set list. Again, I think it's one of my favorite set lists that I've seen of Billie's, but also I think in general, it's kind of like experiencing whiplash, because one song will be so deep and emotional, and then the next one right after would be like, okay, we're gonna party, and then it's like, okay, we're getting sad again. It's like this back and forth of like, are we partying or are we crying? What are we doing? But I loved it. I also noticed that Billie had actual musicians on the stage with her. They were kind of like in this little pit thing, but they were there. She even had backup vocalists there, and I appreciate that, because Billie Eilish technically doesn't need a live band. She could just rely on tracks if she wanted to. She actually shares the stage with other people, and this girl right here looked like Regina George, and honestly, go off, girl. I always appreciate when artists do this kind of thing, where they could just use tracks on stage, but they don't. I think it goes to show just how much Billie Eilish appreciates music and the creation of music, that she's willing to bring actual live music to her performances other than just the vocals. Because again, I feel like Billie Eilish is kind of the artist where it's like you're drawn to her, not necessarily how the music sounds. So she could have gotten away with this easily, but I appreciate actual musicians on stage. One of the songs that stood out to me in particular was When the Party's Over, and she does a live loop of the harmonies right there in front of you, which means that the entire place has to be silent. And this was just magical to me, just to be in a silent room with hundreds of people and to hear Billie's voice without anyone singing on top of her, and just hearing her isolated vocals and seeing this harmony come to life in front of you. It was magical. It was beautiful. I'm not saying that people should shut up at concerts, because certainly I don't, but just hearing it for like 30 seconds, it's like such a profound feeling. Also, at this point, she also sings laying down. I don't know how she does it. She's insanely talented. I feel like a lot of people want to write Billie off as just like the girl that whispers, but this girl can sing, okay? I think she definitely showcases that with her latest album. She is insanely talented and so young, and she's one of those artists that I really look forward to growing up with and seeing where she goes, because she has done so much and is insanely talented to be so young. I mean, I'm older than her, and I haven't done half the things she's done. I'm just an idiot who sits in my room and yaps. She's out there getting nominated for Grammys and stuff. We're not the same. Billie also had this camera that she carried around from time to time, which was broadcasted on the big screens, and it basically showed her point of view. Actually, I thought this was pretty neat. You can actually see what Billie's seeing, and you can see the crowd from her perspective, and it gave kind of interesting visuals. And I hadn't really seen that before. Billie is definitely an artist that cares about her fans and wants to give her fans a good experience and a unique experience and a personal experience. She's definitely an artist that feeds on energy. She does well to create hype, but she expects that in return. Like, what she gives you, she expects you to give back to her. She's definitely one of those artists that feed off energy. So the more you give her, the more she gives you. That would be the advice that I give to anyone wanting to see Billie Eilish. Do not stand still. She does not like that. She wants you up moving. She wants you enjoying that. Because personally, I was loving it, okay? I was jumping up and down like a maniac. But because of that mutual exchange, she'll give you more in return. Which, speaking of getting crazy, Guess Live was an experience. The crowd was insane. There were so many people jumping. There were so many people screaming, which brings me to the point of I had never experienced a concert this loud. And I had experienced, I've been to metal shows and the actual music's loud, which, speaking of, the sound system at this show was not great. It was kind of hard to hear both Billie and Toa Bird. That definitely could have been tweaked a little. So it's not necessarily that the music itself was loud, it was the people. It was the screaming fans that were so loud, and it was so loud that my ears were hurting. Now, let me just explain something really, really quickly to you guys. I have been to so many concerts. I've played so much drums. I have played so much music in general. I always wear headphones. I know that I am going to be deaf by the age of 35. So the fact that my ears can still be like, oh, this is too much noise, is insane. And it was insane. And it was just because of the fans. They were just so loud. You can obviously tell that Billie Eilish means a lot to a lot of people. There were so many people just shouting these lyrics, and you can really tell there was some hurt. There was some hurt in that room, and it was basically a therapy session. And it's always kind of a humbling feeling to be in a room full of people and be reminded that it's not just me that cares so much about these songs. There's so many people going through their own thing and looking towards the same artist as you are. And everyone has problems, but for one night, we're gonna have a therapy session. I feel this way with Happier Than Ever. It kind of hit harder than I expected because obviously with the Barbie movie and things like that, this song means a lot to a lot of people. So getting to hear it live and getting to hear people sing it back to her, it was an experience. I definitely felt things. Nobody meowed though. Nobody did the meow 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 meow. I'm kind of surprised. And to completely ruin the moment, when she gets on her little platform and she like connects herself to that little cable thing, it looks like she has a rat tail. So there's that. Another part of the show that stood out to me was Happier Than Ever. I feel like Happier Than Ever should have been like the real ending because, you know, you have her on the guitar, you have the fire going on, and you have the people screaming the lyrics. It felt more of an energized closing to me, but I feel like, you know, she ended the other tour, the Happier Than Ever tour, with Happier Than Ever. But that compared to the actual ending, Birds of a Feather, I just feel like Happier Than Ever felt more of a closing than Birds of a Feather, but, you know, Happier Than Ever, Birds of a Feather. That rhymed. Interesting. Billie does that thing where you have to look at the guitar to make sure you're on the right fret, which I can't say anything. I do the same thing. So I felt seen, I felt represented. While I feel as though Happier Than Ever was the better ending to the show, Birds of a Feather was funny, and you kind of have to be in the know to know, you know? Because the visuals during this song was Billie Eilish in a field with flowers, and she's frolicking. And if you were on the internet when Birds of a Feather music video dropped, you can tell that she's being petty, and I love it. Because a lot of people were disappointed with the music video that she actually did, and they were like, she needs to be with flowers in a meadow. So this is like a direct call out, and it's like, here you go, y'all. Here's that stupid music video you guys asked me for. And I just love, I love when artists get a little mean. Not straight up mean, you know, not like aggressive, but just like slightly petty. I love when that happens. Which, by the way, the music video that we actually got is so much more deep and insightful and better than just like the cheap route. Frolicking with flowers, that's stupid. I'm sorry guys, that would not have been a better music video. She's showing you how stupid it would be by making it visuals. At the end of Birds of a Feather, the confetti dropped, and this is when my true clicky colors started to show, because anytime I'm at a concert and I see confetti, I'm going for it, bro. I actually have this ghost. This is from the first Billie Eilish concert I went to, and this ghost is full of confetti from that show. Then I was the only person that got confetti, and I looked crazy. I forgot that this was like just a 21 Pilots thing, that not every fan treats confetti like it's literal gold. But I got some anyway, and I got some this concert because the confetti, some of it, are blowshes. And I saw a lot more people try to get confetti this time. I was like, okay, see, I'm not the crazy one. But I realized just how much confetti that 21 Pilots actually do, because if you go to a 21 Pilots concert, the confetti literally covers the ground. You cannot find a bare spot on that floor. Billie was a little stingy. There wasn't a lot of confetti. I was actually worried that I wasn't going to get enough blowshes, but I did. I got a bag. I went on a blowsh hunt. We hunted down the blowshes, and it was successful, so don't worry about it. Blowsh hunting, blowsh hunting. After seeing 21 Pilots and Billie Eilish in the same year so close together, I get reminded of why they're my favorite musicians and just how much they mean to me. So I'll end the video with this. I'm getting on my soapbox a little bit, but just hear me out. Don't ever let people shame you for the things that you're passionate about. Even if people try to tell you that it's cringe or nerdy, if you love it, go for it. Because when I go and see Billie Eilish live, I'm just reminded of, yes, am I a little music dork? Absolutely. But how lucky am I to have something in my life that makes me feel this way. And I'm absolutely not gonna let somebody ruin that just because they think I'm an obsessive fangirl. So be nerdy and be cringed, because to be cringe is to be free. And if you're on the Groovy Ghost channel, cringe culture is dead. And I'll just leave you guys with that. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next one.